You've probably thought about this topic before, just you don't remember it right now. The topic of discussion is, how does weather impact voting turnout? For this question, I dove into historical weather data and data in Washington County for elections, and I also spoke to leaders of the Election Commission.
Definitely have seen that maybe some days of early voting are not as busy as other days if it's heavy rain or something along those lines. But overall voter turnout is not impacted by the weather.
Even though weather hasn't interrupted Washington County elections that often, there was a couple of instances with earlier elections.
Had one event where we had a special election that was held in early winter where we were doing early vote, and the courthouse was actually closed because of a snowstorm. But we're not allowed to close because of weather. So that is one thing. Our early voting and election day, regardless of what the weather is, we must hold voting. We had 2 days of early voting, and on those days we had maybe 3 people show up the first day and maybe 5 people showed up the second day. But that definitely was impacted on those days for early voting, but the overall voter turnout remained the same.
Sometimes the weather can make it inconvenient for voters to make it to the polls. So there's a couple different options. There's various early polling locations, or you can vote by mail. Fortunately, as the years progress, we don't see that many impacts anymore. This is due to extended early voting. And for Washington County, we have been particularly lucky when it comes to presidential elections. Since 2004, there haven't been any major disruptions to a presidential election week when it came to weather impacting the elections. So if it's a day like today where the sun is out, the skies are blue, there's no inclement weather, get out and vote.